Hello, I'm Christine. Welcome to Book Talk. I'm so excited to talk about this book. Today we're discussing Heir of Fire by Sarah J. Maas. Hell to the yeah. I'm so happy that I read this and finished it finally. If you don't know, Heir of Fire is the third book in the Throne of Glass trilogy, which is brilliant. It's a brilliant fantasy series and it's not a trilogy. I don't know why I just said that. It's 6 books. 6 books. It's the best fantasy series I've read since Percy Jackson. Harry Potter, Percy Jackson, and now Throne of Glass. It's not a children's fantasy series. I don't mean to mislead you with my comparisons, but like I'm comparing you to how good it is in comparison to the other fantasy books I've read in life. It's awesome. If you need to know what it's about, you should go watch my Throne of Glass book talk. I have it right here. And I also have a Crown of Midnight book talk right here. Okay, if you read those two, you gotta read the next one. It's so good. Okay? That's all I can say for the non-spoilery section, really, that it's awesome. You gotta read it. The fourth one comes out in 2015, at the end of the year, I think. And I am excited. That's it for non-spoileries. Bye, people who haven't read the book. Go read it and then come back and we can discuss together. Yeah. Bye. Okay, so I finally finished Heir of Fire. If you didn't know, I was in a reading slump. So when Heir of Fire came out, I didn't read Heir of Fire. I read the first 90 pages and I was like, this witch chapter, man. This witch bitch Manon. Like, I just couldn't get past this witch chapter. I was literally on page 90 for like 10 years. Where do I even begin? We get loads of new characters in Heir of Fire. So let's talk about Manon first. In the beginning, it was like, I can't even stand this bitch. She was like disgusting. The first chapter was like, oh, her mindset. Where are her parents? She doesn't have any. She was raised by Granny, and Granny is the devil. I hated Manon, and I thought I was gonna hate Manon forever, but by the end, I'm like, oh, you know, I'm like digging Manon. Heir of Fire is like the story of Manon growing a heart. Give a heartless bitch a puppy, and she won't be so heartless anymore. She's learning to care about things because of Abraxas. Oh my god, Abraxas. The story of how Abraxas came about was so effing awesome. She wants this big wyvern? I don't know how to pronounce it. Honestly, I didn't know they were dragons at first. I pictured them as like a dragon-like thing because of the way they were described and what they were supposed to do. But I pictured them not like a real dragon, but like that stumpy, weird-looking bee-like dragon in How to Train Your Dragon. And that's what I was picturing all the wyverns to be. But then I Googled them and all the images showed just like regular dragons. So anyway, she wanted this big bitch named Titus. Then Abraxas was like, I challenge you, Titus, for her. And then he won, which is just so unexpected. And Manon starts to grow that little heart. She's like, oh my god, you're my puppy. She doesn't know that she's starting to love him or care about him. She's like, what are these feels that I'm feeling? I'm grateful for his existence. What is that? You love him. He's your pet. You have a heart. I know you do. These witches are just so weird. With their iron teeth, those freak me out. What does that even look like? Not cute. I can't imagine iron teeth looking cute. And then they've got like second eyelids that are clear for flying. Oh. That journey that she goes on to get the spider silk, I thought she was heading to like a vendor, to like a dude on the street for some silk. Not arachnid. This is Mark of Athena all over again. I don't know if that's gonna come to haunt her in the end, that she just stole 12 yards of silk from the evil big giant spider. I'm a little afraid. I can't really figure out where I stand on Manon now. Yeah, I like her in this Witch Legion, but she's gonna be fighting against Celaena. Can you imagine a Manon-Celaena showdoam? What's gonna happen? Are witches flammable? Or is Manon gonna see the light? I love the part when she's first taking Abraxas out and she tries to feed him a goat leg and he's sniffing the flowers. Then we have that hilarious chapter where she goes hunting for the goat. I risked my ass to climb this stupid mountain to get this stupid goat. That was fun. And then we can't forget the Quidditch at the end. Not Quidditch, more like battle tanks, except on brooms. Except not on brooms. On dragons. Did anyone play battle tanks on N64? Queen Lord captured. Dun 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 dun. Anybody? During the games, Manon shows her little heart again when she saves the blue blood heir from dying. I'm like, whoa, we're gonna save her? Who are you? And it was kind of reminiscent of book 1, Celaena, when she had that task when she was climbing up the wall and one of the guys fell and she risked herself to save him and then she came in 18th instead of winning. Ooh, parallels? But another new character we got is Rowan. Another at first glance asshole. But then we're like, oh my god, BFF Parabati Rowan. I keep calling him Ronan. I don't know why. Rowan. Halfway through the book when Celaena was talking about him being tan and half naked in his room, I was like, wait a minute. Rowan's not green? What? Did Sarah ever describe him as green? No. But in my mind, he was a half-human green bodybuilder with long dark hair. I don't know. So like, Rowan's attractive and not green. I'm not Team Rowan or anything, but I like him. I like their best buds relationship. I knew they were gonna be Cancun's, Kakarams, Parabati, except for fairies. There were a few moments where they got close to like snuggling, but instead they snuggled with their minds. I loved when we finally got to hear the story about Rowan's past and his wife mate. I love what Celaena was saying about how they gave her a mentor who could suffocate her fire. Not another fire user who'd fight fire with fire, one who's ice and cold with the wind. Who else is ice and cold and airy with the wind? I don't know. Who has those Elsa powers? Dorian. I'll get there. I didn't realize the whole time this whole blood oath thing meant that he was basically sired to Mauve. Maeve. Like, he's her minion. It's like an unbreakable vow. Except no, I think in Harry Potter you can break an unbreakable vow, but you just die. So in conclusion, Rowan, I'm upset that he can't come with us to Ardalan. And I understand it's because magic isn't still in Ardalan. But we just gotta knock down one of those towers. I think we should get to that ASAP. Really, I think Dorian should just run to one of those towers and freeze it and then poke it and then have it crumble into a million pieces. I don't think he can actually do that. But there's an idea. Do we need to blow it up with dynamite? Can we burn it down? I don't think obsidian burns down. I think it's just like one big obsidian post, right? We need a wrecking ball and then we can put Celaena on it and then we can play Miley Cyrus and it'll be beautiful. Then we've got Adion, another fae who walks into our lives. Seems like a douche, but he's not. It's just the way it works in Throne of Glass. Throughout the book, we see Kale and Adion become bros. Celaena and Adion were childhood BFFs. I'm just really, really excited to see them reunite. At the end, we have this whole trap that the king is setting for Aline by taking Adion and setting a date for his execution. And then obviously she's gonna come in Pirates of the Caribbean style and save him at the very last minute. And it's gonna be awesome. That's all I could picture when the king was like, yeah, I'm setting this trap. And I was like, oh, she's gonna Pirates of the Caribbean your ass. He better not be executed. I like Adion a lot now, just equally as much as Rowan. It was so fantastic being able to see Celaena's whole backstory. That whole section where we learn what happened. That whole chapter was completely heartbreaking. The king comes to visit with Dorian and we get to see baby Dorian. And I was like, oh my god. Do we get to see them play? We don't get to see them play. In that little interaction where she was like, you eat like a fine lady. That was cute. But they didn't play any games together. I remember Dorian saying he played with her in court, but whatever. That was the part of the book where I really started crying. When she crawled into her parents' bed to sleep and they were already dead. That's horrifying. The next day, when her lady's maid, Lady Marion, was with her and they came to the door and she was like, run. That whole section, I can't believe that. She sacrificed herself for her and it just makes everything that's happened before this with Nahima so much more powerful. She fell off the bridge and she lost the word key. Oh, and then we go back and she's the heir of fire just kicking ass and it's wonderful. She's battling those evil, soul-sucking, Dementor-like minions of the king. She's like, choo, choo, choo. Incineration powers. And when everyone she loves in her mind was like, get up, get up, get up, get up. And it was like this chant of the tears, man. The tears. Celaena's whole story throughout Heir of Fire was just so frustrating. It was frustrating for her and it was frustrating for us how hard it was for her to shift. I think my favorite was the Skinwalker scene when she tried to run away and he was like, you better shift right now or we're gonna die, okay? And she shifts and she jumps off that cliff and she's like, bitches! She incinerates all the Skinwalkers. I really love the section after she burned herself out at the festival, but she really didn't. And Rowan takes care of her. And that's when they really have their mental bonding sesh. It's like a really intimate situation they have going on. They spend every day together. She lives in his room now, but it's platonic. I don't know. I mean, it probably could be romantic if they wanted it to, but now they're Parabati. They can't be romantically involved. It's the rules. What else do we have to talk about? That one-eyed fish monster? I was picturing, you know, in Finding Nemo, oh, it's so dark. Are you my conscience? Oh, a little glowing fishy. And then that's that big creepy fishy. I was picturing doing a giant version of that, and it was horrifying. When she said like it could come out of the lake, I was just like, woo! Then we have Sorsha. From the moment we laid eyes on Sorsha, I was like, Sorsha's gonna die. Dorian's gonna fall in love with Sorsha. And then Sorsha's gonna be killed somehow. I don't know how. Then Dorian is gonna be really hurt inside and grow as a person and become like really mature and ready to be king. And then so Dorian is gonna happen. He's gonna be
just so ready to be king and roll with Celaena.
Dorian himself was like, I'm gonna find Celaena and we're gonna fix the world together. And I was like, ah! Sorry, I got really, really excited. Sorsha showed up and I knew she was gonna die. But for a second, there were doubts because Sarah starts to try to throw us off with this whole Sorsha's just a servant and he's the prince. And it was creating this Cinderella complex within our Cinderella complex. No! And then Rowan is a prince. So Celaena is Cinderella. And I was saying how, you know, Cinderella marries the prince, Dorian, but then like Rowan was a prince. So she threw in some extras to like throw us off. But no, like I've said before,
I will go down with this ship. I won't throw my hands up and ever surrender.
Everyone was commenting on my Instagrams and tweeting me being like, just wait, Christine, by the end of HEIR, you're definitely gonna be Team Kale. I don't know why you're constantly questioning my loyalty to my ship. I ain't wavering, people. At the end, she says she's done with Kale and she takes off the ring, guys. Kale is not winning this. Remember when she was talking about mates and Rowan was talking about how he could never hurt his mate, and Celaena was like, there's this one time where like I attacked Kale. I was gonna kill him. So does that mean he's not my mate? And Rowan's like, how do I approach this? Because he's definitely not her mate. Well, you know, no, it could be. So Sorsha dies. Yeah. When they had them in that room and the soldier had the knife to her neck, I was like, yeah, come on, come on, come on. So evil. They couldn't not kill Sorsha. And Dorian is Elsa. He's the male Elsa. He lets go of magic. Can we freeze the king? Can we do that? I love how he protects Kale and he freezes the arrow mid-arrowing. He is so cool. He's so sweet and he's so funny. Like she lost Sam and he lost Sorsha and it's like, oh, the bonding. And it's gonna take a while. It's not gonna be like they're gonna jump into each other's arms, but it's gonna happen. Mark my words! He puts one of those necklaces on Dorian and turns him into an evil, soul-sucking Dementor. But you know what? You know what I think is gonna happen? Dorian's gonna come face to face with Celaena and he's gonna be evil minion Dorian and he's gonna like, try and attack her and Celaena is gonna be like, oh my god, that's Dorian? And she won't be able to hurt him because he's her mate. And we're gonna turn him back into regular Dorian. Do you think you could just take off the necklace and then they're regular humans again? Maybe it's really difficult to take off the necklace because when you touch them, they suck out your soul. Because she's gonna go to incinerate him and then she's gonna be like, I can't do it. I'm really excited for it. We gotta knock one of those towers down. Will that happen in the next book? I hope so. I think that's the next thing that absolutely has to occur. Celaena's gonna come and she needs to be able to use her super fire powers. Oh, she's gonna steal the word key back from Aberin. Do we think he was the one that the king hired to slaughter her parents? Or was it another one of those demon things? Did he already have those demon things working for him? She kept saying that she recognized the smell in the room and that she smelt it again when those demon soul-sucking Dementor things were around. Word princesses, void prince, I don't remember their name. I'm gonna call them Dementors. Oh, Dorian also learns a lot about focusing his magic in this book. I mean, he's not as good as Celaena. Celaena's like the master of everything ever now. She is so cool. She's the coolest. But Dorian's able to do that whole triangle thing with the crystals. I'm really excited to see how the witches progress with their pets. Because the pets are humanizing all the witches. They're making them care about things other than themselves. He puts his wing out to keep Manon warm when she's freezing in the rain, and it's so sweet. And that whole thing the Crochin witches said at the end kind of turns your whole perspective of these witches upside down. It seems like the Crochin witches aren't completely evil like all the other witches are. I don't know what kind of curse the Crochin witches put on them, but maybe they deserved it. Because they're bitches. So by the end of the next book, I think we're going to have at least one word key. Dorian is going to be back to non-evil Dorian by the end. It's going to not happen till the very end, I think. I hope we get Adion back by the end, but I don't know. I don't know. We have 3 more books. So it's going to be interesting. I don't know how long it's going to take to get the word key back from Aberin. I just don't know. There's just so many possibilities now because we have so many more characters working. Are we going to see from Rowan's point of view in the next book? I don't know. Are there going to be more new characters? There are endless possibilities. It's getting really confusing with Celaena's 50 names. I just call her Celaena, but her name's Aline, but her name's actually Alentia. People are like, oh, Aline, oh, Alentia, oh, Celaena. And it's like, whoa, let's just do one name, okay? Let's pick one and stick to it, guys. Please share your thoughts, your favorite parts. My favorite part of the whole book. What was it? Manon falling in the shit pile. I liked that a lot. I'm looking forward to some sort of heist with Kale and Ren, get Adian and Dorian. I don't think it'll be successful, but they're gonna try something. And maybe during the heist, they'll explode one of the towers. What team are you on now? I think most people are probably still on their same team. Oh, and apparently Adian was supposed to be married to Celaena as well. He's a good match, you know? So I got a strong bloodline, but I doubt that's ever gonna happen. I don't think he's actually a real contender, just like Rowan's not a real contender. We only have 2 real contenders, ladies and gents, and that's Dorian and Dorian. I'm Christine. Thanks for watching. Share your thoughts. I'll talk to you next time. Goodbye!